if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, Buscaglia, Leo Buscaglia. Buscaglia? There's so many books that are life-changing. We can read about personal finance and how to invest. We can read autobiographies of people that we admire. But the reason why I chose those 5 books today is because I believe life-changing books are something that fine-tunes parts of us that are a bit deeper. The way we look at the world, the way we see ourselves. Book number 1 on my list is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by the author Stephen Covey. If I really want to improve my situation, I can work on the one thing over which I have control, myself. This short quote really encapsulates what most of this book helps turn our attention towards. And in the best ways, it drives us away from this victim narrative in which we blame everything and everyone outside of ourselves and take absolutely zero responsibility. We become completely disempowered to make any significant changes in our lives. Covey shares concepts and practices to help us recognize that the power is indeed within our hands. Number 2, Living, Loving, and Learning from Leo Buscaglia. I absolutely love this book and the man himself, and eventually he created and taught a course at USC titled Love 1A. I swear if you just pick it up and give it a go, despite the fact that the book cover looks a little cheesy and outdated, it will create so much room in your mind and in your heart to let the world back in just a little bit more. Buscaglia invites us to dance through the delightful inner world of his, where dumping a bag full of raked autumn leaves into your living room and tramping through them for the joy of it is not only acceptable, but encouraged. I think the essence of this book is bringing all of us, the adults that have been more or less jaded by the experiences of time, and to remind us again the essential things we knew to be true as children, to a time when we expressed ourselves openly and gave our hearts freely before we learned to hide and to suppress and to criticize and judge. And he beautifully distills the essence of our long forgotten childlike wonder and reminds us to once again experience ourselves and the world with a sense of love and trust. Don't keep the goods to yourselves. Please let us know in the comments, what are some books or authors or speakers that has truly changed your life and made a significant impact? Number 3, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Let me tell you, I've been reading spiritual and self-help books since I was 13 years old. Although a lot of them went completely right over my head and they all deserve a revisit, this is one of those books that just gives you the aha moment. Michael Singer's teachings are actually a bit underrated, yet extremely effective. Think of a Tony Robbins that doesn't yell at you or make you cry. If you've ever tried meditation to quiet your mind and it just doesn't seem to work, this might be the key to unlocking the secret to how to separate the self with a capital S to the thoughts that inevitably haunts us. What this book really highlights is how we can allow a feeling or sensation of upset not to stick to us, but simply to pass through. And in this way, we stop getting so defensive and reactionary to every little thing that bothers us. Speaking of which, I probably should revisit this book right about now. Number 4, The Dark Side of Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. If you're tired of reading or hearing the word shadow work and not having a damn clue what it means, this is the perfect introductory book. Personally, the reason why this book was so life-changing for me is that it widened the scope of my own compassion towards other people, their experiences, and towards myself ultimately. I used to be so offended when someone would call me selfish. And the reason why is because I grew up with this conditioning that if you were selfish, that means you were a bad person. You can replace bad here with a more elaborate adjective. I would come to view this quality, this being selfish quality, as unacceptable, whether that's in somebody else or myself. So if someone called me selfish, I would get very defensive. No way, not me. I'm not a selfish person. What shadow work helped me with was to reintegrate this word selfish, neutralizing it so that it is not a negative or a positive, it just is. And guess what? Most of us has the capacity to be selfish. In some contexts, that is a good thing. Today, I would simply say I do my best to be considerate of everyone around me, but yes, sometimes I can be selfish. There is no longer anything that sticks, no longer anything that offends. It just is. Number 5, Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy by Sadhguru. For this one, I'm going to share a few quotes I highlighted in my Kindle. It's something to keep on your shelf because I think it deserves a lot of revisiting. If you go outward, it is an endless journey. If you turn inward, it is just one moment. In that moment, everything changes. In that one moment, you're not in pursuit of joy anymore. Instead, your life becomes an expression of your joyfulness. If you really want to know spirituality, don't look for anything. People think spirituality is about looking for God or truth or the ultimate. The problem is you have already defined what you're looking for. It is not the object of your search that is important. It is the faculty of looking. The ability to simply look without motive is missing in the world today. And here are the honorable mentions. Zen in the Art of Writing by Ray Bradbury, Tiny Beautiful Things by Cheryl Strayed, and When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Please leave this emoji down below in the comments if you made it all the way to this point, and do let us know your favorite books or books that really made a significant impact on your life or that was life-changing for you. Be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There's no greater investment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.